If you've only had like 20 views on here and 10 views on there and 30 views on this other video after 6 months, well, there's obviously something not happening with those videos. So that means either your presentation or your content or your filming ability or whatever is affecting, or your lack of promotion. Because you could have great content. If the world's not finding out about it, they're not going to know about it. But on the other hand, if you have lousy content and you're able to market that lousy content and get the views but not get the viewer retention, then you've got to do something about the content. So it'd be great to have a nice happy medium whereby you've got decent content, you're informing, you're educating, you're entertaining, you're influencing, whatever the case is. If you can couple that with great video layout and so on, then you're going to hold the viewer. And really critical, holding the viewer for longer than 2 seconds, for instance. The industry average is 10 seconds for newbie YouTubers. I'm going to take you, a little bit into the nearer present time here for a moment, where my views were like 130 overall views, and my average retention was 1 minute and 32 seconds. Well, I have recently uploaded a couple of videos. They're brand new. One's been there for 2 days or 3 days. The other one's been there for about 6 days. And they are both averaging over 4 minutes of viewer retention time, which is absolutely phenomenal in comparison to my overall average. And the average has been as high as 142. It's been as low as 127, but as of today, it's crawled back up to 132. So I'm getting it back up there as a result of these new videos that are up, which are getting a considerable amount of attention, and they're getting a lot of viewer retention. So that's critical. And as a result, my overall retention rate is going to increase. What does that mean to you? Well, the longer you can hold a viewer to your video, the sooner you get to the 4,000 hours that is required of you before you can become monetized by YouTube. So you need 1,000 subscribers and you need 4,000 hours of viewing time. That's 240,000 minutes of viewing time. So I'm going to give you this analogy. Let's say, for instance, you have 2 videos posted and you're getting 1 minute out of one video and you're getting 2 minutes out of the other video in viewer time. Well, in order to get just 1,000 minutes, that would mean you would need 1,000 viewers for the first video at 1 minute. To hit the same 1,000 minutes, getting an average of 2 minutes per view, all you would need is 500 viewers. Now let's double that up. If you can get 4 minutes per view, all you need is 250 different viewers to get you to the 1,000 minutes. They might say, don't make your videos too long. There's an upside and a downside to that. If you make them too long, the likelihood of them being seen from start to finish is very, very limited initially. But with time, those same videos will pick up more viewer retention. Why? Because when they look at the screen and they see that you've got 10,000 views, for instance, well, that's going to instill some credibility into you. And so they're going to say, oh, I got to watch this video and see why they've got 10,000 views. There must be some value to it. So the more views you get, the longer you're going to hold the people's attention. So suddenly, let's say you have a 10-minute video, and initially you're getting 1 minute of viewership out of it. It's going to grow to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 minutes, and some people will watch it 10 minutes long, the whole thing. But back to these 2 different videos comparisons, let's assume one is 1 minute long and the other one's 2 minutes long, and let's assume that you're getting 100% viewer retention for both of them. you still have got to find the 1,000 viewers to give you the 1,000 minutes. On the 2-minute one, you still have to get the 500 viewers to give you the 1,000 minutes. Now take a look at how you yourself view other people's videos. You know, the thumbnail probably attracts you, maybe the title attracts you, maybe you've done a search and in the YouTube search bar, and you've been given the number of choices on the first page, and you made a selection and you start to view this. Well, if within the first 5 seconds they have not captivated you to some degree, you are probably going to hit the bar to move the video on to the next minute or so. And then I don't know how many chances you give them. I give them about 5 or 6 chances, and I'll hit the bar at every minute, and by the time I've hit it 5 or 6 times, which is 5 or 6 seconds, if they've not said anything, or if I'm listening to music, if the music has not spoken to me, or if I'm watching a documentary, if the documentary appears boring, or if the guy's monotone, he's not speaking with any passion in his voice, or if he's just so handsome that I don't want to look at his handsome face, so I switch this. Whatever the reason is, we swap for whatever reason, right? And if we don't like the person's sound of their voice, or the look of their face, or or their content, we're going to ditch them pretty quick. However, if their content is really compelling, you might overlook that he's got this crazy beard on his face. If he's got some passion and belief in what he's talking about, you might just be able to get over the fact that he's scruffy, and he may not look like he knows what he's talking about, but the results will speak for themselves. And right now, what are my results? As of today, I'm just hovering just under 800 total channel views. Big friggin' deal. I agree. In comparison to those who are, in the tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions, tens of millions of views, my views are they're laughable. I know that. But come back in a year and see where they are. And that's the kind of attitude you've got to have. You've got to believe you can do it, and then you've got to take action. But you can't just take action blindly. You've got to, if you're driving in a city that you've never been before, you've got to use a map. Well, use people such as myself as a map. Let us steer you to where you've got to go. And I'm going to show you my exact process that I did. I'm going to show you things that failed. And you've got to recognize when something fails, and you don't just keep kicking a dead horse and say, I want to stick with this idea. If it's the wrong idea, it's the wrong idea. Or if you're presenting it wrong, it's simply wrong. You've got to change your method of presentation. If it's your content that's losing your viewership, then you've got to find out how to improve your content. People such as myself can show you that. And yeah, there's a lot more qualified individuals than myself to teach you that, by all means. And I don't say don't go and listen to them, because you should, because they're going to teach you stuff that I'm not going to be able to teach you as of yet. However, maybe they're teaching stuff that is beyond your comprehension. Why do I say that? Because there's things that they talk about that I say, what the hell did they just talk about? Like whenever you're using acronyms such as CTR, if I throw that at you, what does it mean to you? And off the top of my head, I don't even know what it means. I think it's click to retention, something along those lines. See, I don't claim to know everything, and I'm going to admit when I don't know something. I'm not going to bullshit you. So if that means anything to you, to not be told a heap of crap, then stick around If you haven't hit that like button already, hit it. Come on. And you've got to share me with your friends. Now, I don't know how many friends you might have that are thinking of starting a YouTube channel. Maybe 1 or 2 or 3 or maybe 0. But you know what? It still doesn't hurt to share it on your Facebook page. What the heck? Because we don't know necessarily who is planning a YouTube channel, because most people will keep it to themselves. And if you look at my episode 2, I talk about that. I actually encourage people to keep it to themselves, because our friends are not going to support us initially. A couple will, but the bulk of them won't. And so that's just human nature. That's the way people are. And I'm not going to get into my analogies as to why they probably do that. It's just human nature, and I'll leave it at that for now. Share this video with your Facebook friends, and we might be able to communicate to 2 or 3 people that you had no idea wanted to start a YouTube channel, and maybe they'll buy into what I have to say. And by all means, you've got to hit the subscribe button, because if you are going to make it as a YouTuber yourself, you are going to want subscribers. And the best way to become, to learn how to get subscribers is to learn how to become a subscriber. And, you know, that might sound like hogwash, but it ain't. I've subscribed to a number of people. I'm not just subbing to everybody. I don't do that. But if somebody has something of value to me, I will subscribe to their channel. Why? Because if they've had something of value today, chances are they'll have something of value to me 2 months down the road, or whenever they drop their next video. But at the same time, I want to encourage them to subscribe back to me. Now, I'll teach you this, and you've got to remember this. If anyone subscribes to you, subscribe back. It's imperative. Why? Because maybe they're testing the waters, and maybe they're giving you 3 days or so to subscribe back. And if you haven't subscribed by then, you could lose them as a subscriber, because it's easy to unsubscribe. And so I'm kind of testing the waters with some of these people too. I'm doing a number of things. I'm leaving them a comment. I'm telling them why I like their video. I'm telling them that I've given them a like. If I share them, I will tell them that I've shared them on my Facebook page. And if I've subbed, I tell them in my comment that I've given them a sub. Now, reading our comments, for me anyway, I enjoy reading the comments because there's so few that come in. But I'm hoping to encourage people to come to my website or my YouTube channel and comment and like and share and subscribe to me as well. But if after, you know, a reasonable period of time, if they haven't even commented back to me, I know that they probably haven't looked at my channel. And if that's the case, then I'm not into supporting people like that. I'm into supporting people who are ready and willing and able to engage with their audience. Because if they can't engage with their audience, then they don't show any appreciation to their audience. So if I can teach you one thing, is this: appreciate your audience, because they will appreciate you back. In general, they will. I'm glad you've come by. I hope you stuck it through the whole duration of this video. If you're happening to be seeing this portion of the video right now, and if you've been skipping through the overall video to arrive at this portion of it, yeah, the last couple of minutes here has been the meat and potatoes, because I've been kind of rambling on nonstop and giving you lots of information. But watch it again, and you're going to learn something from it. Take some notes, that's important, and learn with me, and we're going to have a great time. I hope to hear a comment from you. Tell me what you'd like to know in future. Ask me some questions, and I will get back to you. That's my promise to everybody. Okay? Signing out. See you in the movies. You know, you're going to know whether I'm full of hot air or not.